Let me ask you something. Why does owning a house in Ghana feel like a lifetime project? You start small, you buy land if you can, you mold blocks, you build one room, then stop, then continues years later. Meanwhile, life is happening. So if housing is a basic human need, why does it take lifetime to secure it? Welcome to the Mengop Initiative podcast. I am Isaac Frimpong, Doctor of Social Policy, and today we are talking about housing and squalor, one of Ghana's most visible and most personal social challenges. Housing is about life, not just shelter. When we talk about housing, we often reduce it to one thing, shelter. But housing is not just a roof over your head. It shapes how you sleep, how your children learn, how safe you feel, and even how healthy you are. If your environment is unstable, everything else becomes unstable. And yet, for many Ghanaians, decent housing is still out of reach. Not because people don't want it, but because the system does not make it easy to access. Where the gap started. Now, to be fair, this didn't start today. After independence, the state made an effort. Public housing was built for teachers, nurses, security service, and public workers. There was a clear idea. Housing should be part of national development. But then something changed. Population increased, cities expanded, people moved from villages to town, from towns to cities. Accra, Kumasi, Tamale, Takoradi. The demand for housing kept rising, but supply did not keep up. And when systems don't keep up, people don't wait, they adjust. This is where the real Ghanaian story begins. People don't sit back and say, the state has failed, so we will wait. No, people act. They build gradually, rent small spaces, convert kiosks into homes, live in containers, and settle in informal communities. And yes, we call some of these places slums. But let's be honest, most people are not living there by choice. They were living there because it's close to work, it reduces transport costs, it keeps them connected to opportunity. So this is important. Squalor is not created by the poor. It's created by gaps in policy and planning. The market responds, but selectively. Now, while all this is happening, the private sector is also building estates, apartments, gated communities. So it's not that housing does not exist. It does. But there is the problem. Housing is being produced, but not for everyone. Prices are set by the market, not by what most people earn. So what do we end up with? Two different realities. One Ghana, where people buy, build, and live comfortably. Another Ghana, where people manage, adjust, and survive. Same country, very different housing experiences. And housing doesn't stay in one box. It spills into everything. Poor housing affects sanitation, disease spread, mental well-being, and children development, flooding, poor drainage, and overcrowding. These are not random problems. They are signals. Signals that housing is not just a private issue. It is a public policy issue. Ghanaians are not waiting to be housed. They are housing themselves, block by block, step by step, year by year. But let's be clear. Self-building should not be the only path to dignity, because housing is not just about effort. It's about access, planning, and fairness. And when housing fails, it doesn't fail alone. It pulls health, safety, and opportunity down with it. So the real question is not whether people are trying. The question is the system working with them or leaving them to figure it out alone? In the next episode, I'll bring all the giants together and ask a bigger question. What happens when social policy is treated as optional? I'm Isaac Frimpong, and this is the Mengop Initiative podcast. Subscribe, share, and stay with us, because how we live is shaped by the choices we make as a society. Thank you.